everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video will be a budget recap for the month of June, and June has been such an expensive month for me. Do let me know if it was the same for you as well. And I felt like the month was dragging on and there were so many expenses happening, and I just wanted this month to end and for July to arrive. I had to dip into my savings in the month of June, and it was not a small dip. It was not even a dip. It was digging. It was a very big digging, I would say. Yeah, so let's see. So in the month of June, the total income that I was able to bring home was 80,250. And if you're somebody who watches my videos, you'll know that my income varies month to month. I am a salaried employee, but I also have other side hustles, and so my salary is fixed, but my side hustles change from month to month, and that's why some months it's a bigger amount and some months it's a very smaller amount. So in the month of June, I would consider this a very good income, but the expenses were also the same. So anyways, general savings, I was able to put 8,030 rupees. I always set aside 10% of my income into savings. But you'll see here that from my savings, I took out 19,670 rupees to fund for an emergency travel that came up. This travel came up very abruptly. This was for a personal reason, a family obligation. And for that, I took out 10,230 rupees, and also I had to fund for some family expenditure, and 9,440 was taken out from my savings to fund for that. So into PPF, I was able to allocate 5,630 this month, that is in the month of June. And I always set aside 7% of my income for PPF. I save up the money, and in the beginning of the new month, on the 4th of the new month, I transfer the amount into my PPF account. So today is the 3rd of July. So on the 4th of July, I'll be transferring this money into my PPF account. So from April 2022, April, May and June, and then now if I add the July installment, I have been able to set aside 12,710 into my PPF, which means I have been able to deposit at least 8% of the maximum limit into PPF this year until now. I write this down because I just want to be accountable and see how much I'll be able to set aside into PPF in this year. I have never done this before. I only started doing this year. Into my professional development fund, I was able to put 1,200 rupees, and this is something that I started in the month of June, and I was supposed to attend a workshop on the 30th of June, and of course 1,200 would not have been enough, but I was planning on cash flowing the workshop expenditures, but then it got cancelled. So I still have 1,200 rupees in my professional development fund. Into my business fund, I was able to allocate 12,680 rupees this month, which is a good amount, I think. I always set aside 30% of my business income into a separate bank account and keep it for emergency expenditures for my business setup. So into my rent fund, I was able to set aside 1,600 rupees. Into debt, I was able to allocate 8,150 this month, and also I have my 10 rupees savings challenge. I will be adding that amount here by the end of the video. So yeah, that would be something exciting. I want to see how much I've been able to set aside. Coming to the variable expenses, the category that I always spend is in subscription. So into subscription, I had allocated 1,200 rupees, but I did an extra expenditure of 486 rupees. And so in the month of July, I'll have to see how much I should budget for subscription, because this category seems to get over budget time and time again. Other than that, of course, my envelopes have gotten empty, but thank God I'm still under budget. So let's count the envelope with me and see how much money I have remaining in the envelopes. So in household, I have nothing. So balance is nothing. Therefore, I have spent the budgeted amount this month, that is 9,000 rupees. Petrol and parking also, I have nothing left. So the expense is 4,550. Spending has 10 rupees, but this goes into my 10 rupees savings challenge. So here also 0. So the total expenditure is 1850. Self-care, I have nothing, 0. So the expenditure is 1590. Giving also has nothing. Total expenditure is 1650, the whole amount. So personal, I had budgeted 3570. I have some money here. So 100, 200, 20 and 30. This goes into my 10 rupees savings challenge. So now I have 100, 220 rupees, 220 balance. $3,570 minus 220 equals 3,350. So the total expenditure in my personal category is 3,350 this month. Wardrobe also has some money remaining. So I had budgeted 4,200 in wardrobe. So the amount that's remaining in the envelope is 100, 200, 300, 20, 40 and 50. 350, but this goes into my savings challenge. So now I have 100, 200, 340 rupees. 340. $4,200 minus 340. The total expenditure is 3,860. Into medical, I budgeted 1,560 rupees. So the amount that's remaining in the envelope is 1,150 and 60. 1,160 rupees. This goes there. So now I have 1,150. 1,150. So 1,560 minus 1,150. The total expenditure is 410 rupees. Car maintenance, I budgeted 3,080 rupees. So the money that's remaining in the envelope is 1,000, 2,000, 100, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 50, 60. 2,360 rupees, but this goes there. So now I have 2,350 rupees. 2,350 remaining. Which means that I spent 2,350. 730 in my car maintenance category. Family, I allocated 2,000 rupees. I have 20 rupees remaining in family. So 2,000 minus 40 equals 1,960 is the expenditure. In my pets category, the amount that I have remaining is 200, 300, 400, 500, 10, 20. 520, this goes there. So I have 500 rupees here. 2190 minus 500 equals, the expenditure is 1690. And I have 220, 30. 230, this goes there. So the amount that I have remaining in N category is 220. So the expenditure is 1430 minus 220 equals 1,210 rupees. Into subscription, like I said, I overspent 486, which means the balance is minus 486. Therefore, the total expenditure is, the budgeted amount is 1,200 plus 486. The total expenditure is 1,686 rupees. I'll have to think about this category. Maybe I'll have to budget more into this category, or the other thing that I can do is I should maybe change my subscription plans. I will look into it. So into my buffer category, I know that I don't have anything more in my buffer category. So that means I spent 1000 rupees from my buffer category. So now if I add up the balance that I have is, so the total balance that I have in my envelopes, which I'll be carrying over to the month of July, is 4,800. I don't calculate these because my heart breaks. So I'll just let it be. And looking at this number, I can decide on how much I should allocate into these categories in the next month. That is why it's very important for me to do this. But then again, I don't calculate this. I don't want to. The good thing is at least I didn't go over budget in the other categories except for my subscription, and then I'm carrying over 4,800 rupees into the month of July. So now let us see how much I have been able to save in my 10 rupees savings challenge, and this amount will be added to the debt category, and that will decide how much I have been able to set aside into my debt category in the month of June. So this is the money that I have been able to set aside throughout the month of June. And let's give this account: 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. This is 100. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 200 rupees. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 250 rupees in my 10 rupees savings challenge. Setting aside 10 rupees each cash stuffing can add up to 250 rupees in a month. This is why I love cash stuffing. So yeah, I'll be adding this into my debt category. So 8,150 plus 250 is, I know a lot of you will be looking at it and she can do the math, but when I shoot my video, it's like my brain has stopped. I stammer, I say the wrong things, so it's better to use the calculator. So which means I've been able to put aside 8,400 rupees into my debt category. So this is all I have for today, and I hope to see you in my next video, which will be a cash stuffing video for the month of July. Until the next time, take care and bye.